So when you get in, punch that throttle, and you build massive cylinder pressures, that iridium autolite, that's what you're going to get for a spark. But the pulse star is going to actually get more and more and more intense. Where a conventional plug wants to just give up, the pulse star wants to do more. So, oh, okay. The natural gas pulse star is using what's called inconel or inconel. Different people pronounce it differently. It's spelled the same. And it takes more energy to initiate the spark. So when we hit the normal pulse star, whoops, I put it on the silver. My bad. So we compare the iridium pulse star to the natural gas pulse star. There's a little bit of a difference.
It's actually overcoming the sun quite a bit more since I have it like right behind me, so it actually, my view is probably not as good. So the farther one definitely looks brighter.
But again, the natural gas pulse star is going to react the same under pressure as the iridium pulse star. So as, say, a normal autolite will want to just, I can't bridge the gap because the pressures are too high and the resistance is too high. The pulse star will plow through that and get even more intense and even brighter and more looking like we did with the peaking caps with these guys.
Okay, so question would be, when you say give up, does that mean it just stops firing even though it still should be?
That means you get that buck when you pound on it.
Okay.
You get that misfire.
Okay.
And with the pulse star, it pulls harder and you don't get the misfires.
All right. I remember Spirit when we changed from whatever fantastic plug was in there to the pulse stars. My gas mileage went down because it was fun.
You actually had more efficient combustion, but you had more power, and you enjoyed that power excessively.
Excessively.
Very good. So that's kind of an overview of the spark plugs, the peaking caps, and are there any other questions on what we've covered here?
Was the propane, was that a platinum pulsar?
This is
So I've seen platinum
natural
and
gas.
pulsars, I'm not sure.
The natural gas pulse star is the same metallurgy as the copper core autolite, except it has the capacitor built in. So again, if we were to compare
So these two are the same, you were saying
these
basically...
two, I'm sorry.
Oh, standard.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so we have a standard. That's the same Inconel electrode metallurgy.
Yeah, definitely improvement from standard by far, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one is like this one with the built-in capacitor. Now we tested the 150 picofarad. The pulse star's capacitance value is less than the 150, obviously. Because if we, oh, and by the way, for peaking caps, you absolutely, positively must use a non-resistor spark plug.
So these are non-resistors as well on the outer top ends.
Non-resistor,
And then is this
plain
also-
basic, non-resistor silver,
Yeah,
and then non-resistor like racing plug.
okay.
So if we go to, well, let's pick something, right, standard spark plug.
Well, actually, the iridium did the best. Tried to do a resistive iridium with the.
All right, I'm going to hook this up because I don't want to blank fire the coil. But, all right, iridium. That is a resistor style spark plug. So with the resistor style spark plug, let's see if we can get anything. Did it make a
Didn't
change?
help it at all.
No, no.
It just completely
All right,
deleted
let's try the 330. Any difference?
No, no,
No?
making a difference.
All right, let's go Mojo 480. How about now?
Nope.
Hmm.
So the resistive spark plug is defeating the ability to use
Yeah, let's
caps.
maybe it's that iridium crap. Who knows? Let's go to a standard. So now we're going to look at just the regular old standard auto light. And let me get this to where I'm not touching anything when I don't want to. All right, so here we go. 150 picofarads on the standard. Did it make a difference?
Hmm.
All right, let's go 480. Still nothing? All right. And a little tiny, itty bitty, tiny bit. But if we go to non-resistor, here's just the plain, nothing fancy, baseline, brisk non-resistor, 150.
There you go.
You notice the difference?
Yep.
All right, let's go to the 330. 480. Brisk makes silver. I don't think we played with that one yet.
I do not think we have. There's improvement. Even better.
So obviously, peaking caps only work with a non-resistor spark plug. Any other questions?
Does the wire matter? Does the wire have to also be solid core, or does it work with the other wires?
Let's pull. All right, what we're going to do, take a resistor wire and to get the jacket off, we're going to spray some silicone in there, and then normally we take a small screwdriver and just kind of work it around like that, and then pulls right off. So what we want to do is we want to just slide this into where it makes electrical contact, and yep, that should do it. So now let's yeah, we'll try this guy. I got a ground, resistive wire, non-resistive plug, peaking cap. So it's not the wire, it's the spark plug. You can use resistive wire or solid core wire, peaking cap, non-resistor plug, you still get the big bang. Any other questions?
So would that combination probably be better for a car that has problems with the electrical noise from running solid core, for example.
You don't get electrical noise with solid core,
Oh,
that ferrite ring.
okay, right. That's a, yeah, that would reduce, yeah, electromagnetic compatibility, yeah, I agree.
In fact, what you're looking at here is basically what's on the Jeep outside. If you have ignition wires, peak and caps are great. You would need to solder a wire to this lead and then ground it to the engine block so that you have both leads connected. One of the leads from your capacitor connect to the business end of the spark plug. The other lead has to go to ground. What I'm doing with this is I am completing a ground circuit when I clip this on. So I'm essentially running the other lead to ground. Again, no ground, electrical ground, no ground, electrical ground.
It also seems that the same experience would work if the peaking cap was on the other side of the spark plug wire.
If it were non-resistant,
If it were non-resistive, and the reason why I bring that up is because that becomes applicable for coil-on plug applications.
coil-on plug applications, I'm going to recommend just going with the pulse stars.
Oh yeah, I mean that's going to be the easiest bet.
All right, what I did,
But without having to change your spark plug wires, it seems like it's feasible that it could work on coil-on
yeah,
plugs.
what I did was I just went like this.
Yep.
So now we have the peak and cap on the coil end of a resistive wire.
Yeah, this will be a little
Same non-resistor spark plug. Any difference?
Yeah, there's not much improvement there on that one.
Okay. Now if we have a non-resistive wire, solid core, and we put the peaking caps on the coil side, that other leg's kind of hiding. I don't want to shock myself. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, seems like it's going to get the similar effect.
Yep.
So it's just resistance in its location, not necessarily a spark plug.
Yeah, you need the capacitor. Basically, what we're doing is we're putting the capacitor between the center electrode and the outer electrode. From the center electrode to the outer electrode. If it's a non-resistor spark plug, then electrically this center electrode and this connection are electrically one and the same. If it's a resistor spark plug, then they're not, because you have a resistor separating them. If I were able to get in there with a resistor spark plug, just a normal standard spark plug, and I could somehow finagle that capacitor to go between the center and the outer electrodes, which I'd be doing inside a combustion chamber, which makes it impractical as all get out, you would see the same effect as the way I'm doing it with the non-resistor spark plugs.